Hello, I'm NBG and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I really just kind of wanted to make a little bit of a rundown of what my plans are prior to the pre-patch, both completed and not completed, as well as kind of like what my plans are for the pre-patch. We're at this weird point right now where we're kind of between everything and there's really not a lot to do. Maybe some people could have a lot to do. I've kind of completed most of the things I want to get done, and I was going to kind of just share that, maybe just to see kind of how I matched up with the rest of you guys, or maybe give you guys some ideas of things to shoot for, things of that nature, just to kind of clear my own mind on what I'm trying to get done both now and into the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what I think I'm going to do today is just kind of do a little bit of like a B-roll and kind of just talk over it. The background footage is not important. It's just kind of me going through my daily routine as I always do. So I wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, one of the reasons why I don't have other content coming out for the profession stuff I've been doing on the beta is because, sure enough, as I was going to do the next video, everything changed on the beta and the vendors and stuff are not there for me to test. So I really can't do anything about that until they are back, and if and when they do come back, I will be sure to finish off the other videos that I have not yet completed. So with that out of the way, these were or are my plans prior to the pre-patch. These were things I kind of set out for myself as just like kind of my goals. So before I even started making videos, my primary goal for coming back to World of Warcraft in the state that it's in right now is I wanted to get ready for Dragonflight, but not just get ready for Dragonflight. I wanted to both purchase Modern Warfare 2 as well as Dragonflight with gold. When I started this, I didn't have very much gold. I had like 100,000 or something, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to actually think I had more than that. Then I bought a token and then I had like 100,000 left, but regardless, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come back, and you know, I usually do it about once or so per expansion, but I'm like, I'm gonna focus really hard on making some gold, see how well I can do. Let's make some gold and get some things done. So my primary goal for coming back prior to the pre-patch was to buy Modern Warfare 2 and Dragonflight. I did that easily. I was able to buy the expensive version of each, no problem. Like it that happened pretty quick. I was able to come up with that gold, and then I started delving into videos and stuff too. But you know, that was my primary thing, is I just wanted to make gold so that I can buy those, so I don't have to spend out of my own pocket. Because like a lot of you, you know, I'm a family guy, and my wife plays and my daughter plays and all this kind of stuff, and if you're going to be buying all of those games, all those things for that many people, it gets quite expensive. I mean, just Modern Warfare 2, like, you're talking, that's $300 plus right there. That's absurd, you know, just for that game, not even counting Dragonflight and stuff. So I was like, you know what, why don't I just spend some time while I have some time? Let's make some gold and purchase that, so it doesn't have to come like right out of my own pocket. So there we go. My second goal was to buy WoW tokens to prepare for Dragonflight, both to have tokens available and things I don't have to think about, and as well as, you know, there's a good chance that the price is going to rise, and I wanted to get some tokens in before the price rose. I just feel more comfortable if I have a bunch of tokens lying around. So currently, not just have I bought Modern Warfare 2 and Dragonflight, but I have also bought, I'm up to, I think I have 7 tokens lying around currently. I bought like 5 on the other server yesterday, and I already had a couple over here. I have 1 more left that I want to buy, and then I think I'm done with that for a bit. And that gets me just ready to go. Come expansion, come whenever I am subbed, I have 8 tokens lying around, I'm good to go. The third biggest thing I wanted is, okay, let's say it's going to be expensive to buy the games and come up with the tokens. I kind of knew that in order to buy both of the games, that I would also want to have gold lying around, right? I didn't want to just buy the games and be sitting on no gold and no tokens. So my next, my next biggest point was I just want to have some extra money lying around. And honestly, I've done that. I'm just short of 3 million again. I think I'm at like 2,750,000 or something as of this video, which is not bad considering that I bought both games and I'm up to I think 7 tokens right now just sitting there. So I've done okay. The initial math I did, I was like, oh man, at the minimum I need to make, I think it was like 5 million. I was like, at the when I did the math, I was like, okay, I need a minimum of 5 million, within 2 months, and I was able to do that quite easily, like way easier than I thought, even with the crappiness of 9.2.7. So after I did that, now that I have money, now what else do I need to get done prior to pre-patch? It was learn about the profession changes, because that's the primary way I like to make gold. So I wanted to learn about the profession changes for Dragonflight. I've spent some time on the beta, as you've seen with the videos, and I've done some delving. I need to do a lot more, to be honest, but I can't at the moment. But so that's still something I do need to address myself and do a little bit more of, just to help prepare myself. So that's something I'm working on, but I've definitely done some on it. And then the number 5 thing, which is one of the big things I want to talk about, is, in terms of what to do prior to pre-patch, it's take a break. It's take a break. And it's primarily take a break because I love World of Warcraft. I've been playing it since vanilla, like, or classic, I guess, let's say it that way. No, which way would it be? I guess vanilla is the right term. I've been playing it since vanilla. I've played it mostly on, rather than on and off, for ever. Probably the least I've played it was a good portion of Shadowlands, with everything that was going on. I probably didn't touch it for a little over a year, I think, and that was saying a lot coming from me. And so with that, I know that I need to take a break because we have a new expansion coming out. We have a lot of changes. We have a lot of things I want to delve into, and I just don't want to be burnt out. So, and there's things I want to do during pre-patch, so I know that, like, man, this pre-patch, if the dates are right and if it's coming October 25th, granted, there's nothing saying that that's going to happen, right? But let's say if that is the earliest that it's coming, I really need to take at least a week or 2 prior to then just to do other things. Now, what are those other things? Honestly, it's go touch some grass, right? Go touch some grass. Go play another game. Go do just about anything that's not World of Warcraft, and keep tabs on it, but kind of just relax. And I kind of wanted to ask you guys about, the people watching the channel, the people that are interested or care or whatever. I don't want to not make content on WoW, and that's my next frustration, is I'm trying to build a channel. But I do know I need to take a break from WoW. So my next thought was, should I make some content on another game? Would people want to do that? Or is anybody who's subbed to me right now like, yo, I subbed to you for WoW Gold stuff, I would like to keep it WoW Gold stuff? I completely understand. That's what I just started making on my channel, right? But that comes with it, like, what I play. Well, right now, honestly, I play Fortnite with my daughter, right? We like to play no build. We like to just go in and have fun. I play with my daughter, my wife, and it's just family game time. That's something we do. I don't think I would ever make videos on Fortnite, but who knows? Maybe somebody's like, yeah, a family night, kind of thing might be kind of cool. I don't know. That's just one thing that's coming, and I'm bringing that up because I know, like, Fortnitemares and stuff like that is starting soon. I think that starts on October 18th. So, like, when I take a break, I'll probably do some of that with the family and things of that nature. Another big thing coming out is New World, the New World update. That's also October 18th. Why does that matter? Man, I played New World right when it came out, and in terms of, like, the leveling and just the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff, holy crap, that's one of the most fun month and a halves I've ever had in my entire life in gaming. With the New World update, it had me thinking. I have thought about the game a few times in the last 6 months of just going, man, remember that? Remember how fun the start of that game was, before you realized what all the problems were? I've kind of thought about it a bit, and I've seen a little bit on the upcoming changes and things of that nature, and it kind of makes me want to jump in again. I would probably completely re-roll just because, like, God, the leveling was so good. I would, with any changes that it has, I would enjoy doing it again, at a brisker pace, that's just set up a little bit better. So anyway, so that was something I thought about, was maybe making some new world content. But the problem with a game like that is I like to go kind of hard on games like World of Warcraft, whatever the case may be, and I just don't feel like I have the ability to go hard on something like New World with new WoW stuff right around the corner. And that's been like one of the only big things keeping me from like jumping back in and trying that, or like really like being dead set on doing it, is just the fact that when the hell am I gonna have time, right? Like, I work a normal job like everybody else, and I'm trying to pump out WoW content and so on and so forth. We have WoW stuff right around the corner, potentially a week after this update, mind you. So, yeah, that's something. But, maybe I don't make content on it. Maybe I just do it for a week and chill out myself, and that's my chill prior to pre-patch, maybe. And then two other big things, one of which is Modern Warfare 2 launch on October 28th, which I totally plan on taking that day off with my wife, and we're going to sit here and game like it's 2006, 2008, whatever it was. We're going to sit here and we're just going to game all day and have some fun on Modern Warfare 2 together, and have some fun times. With that, I may make more my God, I can't speak. It's hard today. I may make more Modern Warfare 2 videos. My first video didn't do well, but I've already stated I'm not really doing this for videos that do well. I'm doing this because it's fun, and I'm doing this just to get my thoughts on things out there, right? I'm just trying to become a part of the conversation, I guess. So I thought about making some content on that, as well as I do believe the campaign opens up a week earlier to pre-order people, or approximately a week earlier. I even thought about, like, what about like a Let's Play where I kind of go through each... I don't normally do the campaign. I'm usually like a multiplayer only person, but what if I did a playthrough, right? I played through the campaign as, in that week prior to the launch of the actual like multiplayer and all that kind of stuff. I thought something like that might be fun, so I may do something like that. But again, that's also predicated on when pre-patch is. If pre-patch is the 25th, that's probably not happening. If pre-patch is the 25th, I don't know. I guess it still might be able to happen. But yeah, if the pre-patch is the 25th, that really does shake up everything. I actually kind of hope that the pre-patch is a week or two after that. I heard rumors that the pre-patch might actually only be a couple weeks long at most. And that there might actually not be really other content other than, hey, here's new talent trees, so on and so forth. I'm okay with that because I actually really want to play Modern Warfare and stuff, and that would give me more time to focus on another game for a bit personally. So that's kind of what I'm feeling about that. All right, after all that long-winded stuff, what are my actual plans for pre-patch? Again, a lot of this is up in the air because I would like to see more of what's going to be in the pre-patch, but my most important thing as a WoW player is I need to choose my mains. I've never been able to not play like basically everything, but I need to kind of choose it. I'm thinking two to start with, of two classes that I just want to focus on. I've always been a warrior. PvP, PvE doesn't matter. Like I've loved arms forever. I enjoy fury. That's honestly, it almost has to be my number one, just especially with how well they're set up going into the expansion, at least at the moment, before more nerfs come. But I love warrior. It's the one that I always go back to. I've been playing it forever, so that's probably number one. It's really about what number two is, and my number two I thought was going to be Evoker, but it's just not gelling with me on the beta. So the other classes I typically enjoy the most would typically be Hunter, but really I only like MM. Death Knight. I love Death Knight. It always makes me feel weird choosing a second character that's so close to my main, like having a plate melee with another plate melee. I try to stay away from that, like as like focusing, just to like get a different feel, you know what I mean? Like just to have a class that's just way different than my main, and I don't feel like that's different enough as much as I really do like Death Knight a lot. So the other classes that I've basically probably mained the most that's not warrior, other than like paladin, ret specifically, the one I would think about anyway would be mage. I've always loved fire mage, and I'm that weird person who enjoys messing around with arcane, specifically in PvP and stuff. I really love fire mage though. So honestly, like right now, if it started today, those would probably be my two mains, and that would be my warrior mage, and I would just go from there, just because I'm not seeing enough from hunter, and Death Knight would probably be third on the list, just because it's so close. It's another plate melee, and I'd like to stick away from that at least initially. Not everybody really knows me as a player yet, because I mostly just make gold stuff, but I'm an altaholic. I will end up playing everything throughout the expansion. I will end up PvPing on everything. I will who knows about PvE, but I will play everything, and I know that about myself, and it's a matter of just like where my main focus is. But I think at the start, since I just won't have enough time to do everything, that those will kind of be my two focuses. Now, the other main thing that I want to do for pre-patch is just check out the other classes, right? Mess around with the talents, check out builds, just see if there's anything that I'm just like, holy crap, I just love the way this is now. I must play this. You know, I have things on my short list of things that I'd really like to mess around with. I've always really enjoyed Windwalker. I think Windwalker is really fun. I love the burst. I don't know why I've never been able to main one. I just haven't. I really couldn't tell you why. Because every time I jump on one, I'm like, oh yeah. I like the fluid style of Windwalker. The other main one that I would really like to look at is probably Enhancement Shaman. I've always loved both Elemental and Enhancement. They've always been fun to me, so that's also probably on my short list of classes to really delve a little bit deeper into and check out and just see if I have to. Like, I think I remember at the start of BFA, I think it was at the start of BFA that like I changed my main, like right at the start. Actually, I think I went Shaman first over my Warrior, which is honestly amazing for me, just because I was enjoying Enhancement so much. So yeah, those are kind of things I want to choose, because I really just need to know the classes I'm interested in. I have a couple that I've basically already marked off, but what am I interested in? What do I want to play? What am I maining? Get some focus. Number 3, in pre-patch, I would like to look for some gold making opportunities. There may not be any, right? If there is some, well, that's the time to take advantage of it before it's gone, right? Take advantage of it, set myself up to make more gold in the future, or more gold right away. The first thing I can think of right now, if nothing happened, then maybe the like 233 gear and stuff for mail, for all those new evokers and stuff, might start flying off the shelves. So that's one thing I can think of immediately if nothing else happened. But again, need more data, not data, but I need more knowledge on what the pre-patch is going to have. But that's something I need to look into. I need to, number 4, I need to make a clear plan of attack for launch. Again, it's one of those things that it's going to take up until pre-patch, maybe even late pre-patch, until I really have an idea. But, and this comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes, but I need to figure out which professions I want to push first. The easy answer is whatever my mains are, which for me, unfortunately, I don't like it that it's this way, but unfortunately, my warrior is a jewel crafter. Jewel crafting and mining, so I could go just that route, just because that's what my main already has. And then if I went mage, I think I am going to swap my mage, because right now it's my priest is my tailor and stuff. I think I'm going to swap that out, and I'm maybe doing tailoring and enchanting, just because as a second character, having 2 strong things like that, specifically with enchanting and stuff, I could see myself going that route, just because those enchantment materials, I think, especially the purple crystals and stuff or whatever, I think are going to be very expensive early, and if I can get some early and make some gold off of that. So those are that's something I really need to figure out, is just what professions I want to push, because I don't think I'm going to be able to just get up there and do all of them. And that kind of goes with my other general plans of what I want to do this expansion. I don't want to just make gold. My wife's leaning that way a little bit more, but I've talked to her a bit about how I feel is that I haven't really played WoW in a couple years now. I'm talking pushing anything on PvE, pushing anything on PvP. I've barely done either, even PvP, which is my love, but I've barely done either just because of where the game's been at, and I just haven't enjoyed it. And if I've done anything, I've made gold. And as much as that is still going to be a focus of mine, a secondary focus of mine, I want it to be secondary. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to play the game again. And what I mean by that is doing the big content I want to do, whether that's PvP or PvE. I've never been much of a PvE guy. I think going into this expansion, if it was to start today, I'm really interested in really dipping my toes into Mythic Plus. You know, as maybe some of you guys out there would love to do that with me as well, and just, you know, I'm not somebody who needs to do, you know, 15s or anything like that right away. Like, just going at a slower pace and learning and progressing on gear and finding a group of people to play with. Like, honestly, that's what I'm craving as a WoW player, is just actually playing the game and progressing in my own way. And I really think that this expansion is going to allow that, and that's why I'm excited for it. On top of PvP, you know, having solo queue and stuff like that, like, God, that's a dream of mine. That's been my issue. I've always felt like I'm better than a lot of people, but there's also, like, the higher two people are just so much better than I am because I'm just not there yet. I don't have the practice or ability to where usually I'd either group with people and really try, and they're either just awful, or I'd group with people and they're just a little better than me and they don't have the patience to work with me. I've always had problems finding people to play with, and having the ability to solo queue and just rely on myself is right up my alley. So anyway, so that just kind of goes along with everything and like kind of what I'm going to pick first, because I'd like some good professions to make some money off of early, but I don't know if I'm going to push like every profession right away. I want to be the master of all of them, get all my characters to that point. Let's make big time gold and just have that my focus. Honestly, maybe I should do that to make more gold early, but like that's kind of why I've set this up in pre-patch. You know, I can at least cover the next 8 months. I have 3 million gold lying around. Like, I don't need to do that. I want to just play at this point. So that's kind of where my mindset's at. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make gold. So another one of my points is I would like to figure out if there's a specific item or something I want to push. For instance, like Darkmoon Dex. Darkmoon Dex is the first thing that pops to my mind. Do I want to be that guy who crafts those? Is there any item out there that I'm just like, this right here, I think it's going to make huge money if I focus any time on making gold. This is what I want to focus on, you know, whether it's a specific profession or a specific item or two, or maybe multiple professions with specific items that like I want to be good at making X item, or I want to make gold off of X item. So I need to figure that out. I did it in BFA for Darkmoon Dex and made a lot of gold. I don't know if I want to do that this time around because I think they're going to be absurdly expensive early. I do think they're going to cost a lot to make, but I also think you're going to make a lot when they sell. So I do think that goes both ways. I don't like risking money though. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or go a safer route. I kind of think I'm going to go a safer route. Yeah, and then the other major thing I need to figure out in the pre-patch is what, and I would ask this to you as well. I want to know what my goal is this expansion, or even just launch if I want to change it. At the moment, again, I want to mess with a little bit of everything because it's going to be a new expansion. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to know right away if it's like, holy crap, I'm a PvE guy now. It's time to do Mythic Plus and just focus on that. Find a guild, find people to play with. I'm just going to do Mythic Plus all the time. That's what I'm gelling with. I don't know if I'm going to do that, or is PvP to a point where I go back to just PvPing basically like I used to. Is solo queue so good that I just can't get enough of it, right? Things like that I won't know until it happens. Even with the gold mate, maybe the professions are just so amazing to work with and make gold with, and the work orders, that I'm like, wow, this is better than I thought. this is now my focus. I unfortunately don't know if I really can specify what I want to do until I'm in the middle of the expansion. So that's why my real goal is to kind of figure out what my plan is for launch. And right now, my plan is for launch, have 2 mains, get them up ASAP, and then just kind of dip my toes into all 3 and see where I land. So anyway, guys, that's today's video. It's probably another super long one. I just kind of wanted to get my ideas out there of what I'm thinking, what I was working on, where my plans, just where my mind's at. I'm looking for any ideas, criticism, or otherwise that you guys have, both on what content you would like to see, what content maybe you're like, oh my god, I don't want to see this, please don't make videos on it. That's fine too. Just anything, because in the midst of doing all of this for World of Warcraft and kind of where my mind is there, I'm also trying to build a community here. Speaking of which, thank you all for over 500 subs. We are now officially there, so hopefully I'll have that community tab really soon, so I can just stay in touch and ask questions and things of that nature. But yeah, we're coming into a weird point. I don't know how much WoW content I'm going to have coming out here in the next couple of weeks. If there's something worth making a video on, I'm going to make a video on it. I definitely don't want to go through this next weekend and not make something. I just don't know what that's going to be, right? It's probably going to be some sort of beta coverage, is my guess. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm sitting. So please share with me. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you guys planning things out as much as I am? Are you guys thinking about it as much as I am? What are your goals? You know, let's just have a discussion. So with that, guys, thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one.